Hello everyone! Mudbrains TV do-it-yourself live stream cardboarding Vader. Day number 9. Vader has come a long way, or the mask of Vader. What I want to achieve today, or what I want to accomplish today, is I want to continue this to refine the surface of this mask, and today I want to cut the mask apart into 3 parts. And for this, just to illustrate where the cut will be, I searched for a blueprint Vader on Google, and there you can find this picture, which I'm going to show you in this camera here, right? I think this is, yeah, here you might be able to see everything, and you can actually see where the mask will be cut apart. And yeah, that's the point I want to achieve today. Here, there's actually one cut line here below this tubular thing here. The back part will be gone. This thing on the top. Let me siege this. I will change this camera now. Here, this crown thing on the top will stay intact, but I will cut behind it. Then, so the whole back of the head will be exposed when wearing this mask. One cut will go from here to here, from here to here. So this means I will end up with 2 pieces of the face mask. And just to illustrate where I want to cut it, I will draw the lines now. And yeah, before I cut, or before I separate the parts, I will do some cleanup here, for there's some inconsistencies in the surface, especially here. There's like a indentation that I don't want to have. Here's an indentation that needs to be covered and blended across. And then there is a little too much mass on this side, or too little on this side. So I think I will add some cardboard here. Yeah, this is what the game plan is. And what I'm seeing right now is that the top camera is not really working. I will see if I can fix that. Yeah, this should have worked. Okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, it should show up in the stream now. Okay, I will lay down the lines where I want to cut this mask apart. I will start with a pencil here, and then I will use a black marker so it can show up on the stream. But what is important is that once I cut it apart, that all pieces have enough structural strength so it's not falling apart, which means I will strengthen the back of the head here, and maybe I will add a little more cardboard to the inside here. Does it show up? Yeah, I think on the top camera. So it is kind of strong and will withstand the torture of cutting it. Now, as you have seen in this picture here, now I can show it on the top camera. Let me enlarge this. The whole top area will remain intact. And now I will have to decide where to apply these cuts to the back of the head. And yeah, I hope to get it right. Or this is kind of hard to see the right symmetry here, or to all I want to say is I will try to cut away a little piece, so to stay on the safe side. If I would cut away too much, it's very hard to like reapply all that material. I will use this line here to cut there and here, and I think this looks okay for the time being. Now here I will lay it down in black marker so it shows up. Samyang Cook, hi! You're a very regular guest on the stream. I'm happy to see your name here. Today is very exciting for me. I've been waiting to separate the mask, because only then will I be able to tell if it still fits my head. Or here, I haven't been able to insert my head here for the last like 8 days now, or 7 days of building it, and yeah, I hope it still fits me. Okay, and the cutting line should be closer to the middle of this mask, closer to here, but I want to start on the very, very safe side here, and then I will just look at the result, and only then will I decide if I cut away more of the cardboard. Okay, here I want to have roughly the same height on both sides, even though the lower part is not really leveled. And once I have separated the 3 pieces of the face mask, For here, this top part, here, the front part will be one piece. Then the collar will be split in two. I will just define that line depending on where the final cut here is. It's somewhere here, and there will be the front part of the collar with a lower part of the respirator, and then there will be a back part, which is exactly as you can see it on this little toy model. And once I have them separated, I can start to finish the shape of the lower part of the mask. For the mask does not stop in the neck piece going straight down like this, but it's curving frontward a bit, so that it can cover the collarbone, and this frontward facing lip has to be added to the lower part of the face mask. Okay, this should show up on stream. This is where I will cut the mask once I applied the rest of the cardboard. For example, here there's like no stability in the mask, so I will add some cardboard on the inside here, and there needs to be more cardboard here on the back side. I will not really work with the helmet today. For this will be modeled, or will be finished in the rough shape once I decided on how long this lower lip will be. For I watched quite a lot of pictures of the Vader mask now, and I realized that there's many different versions of the helmet. For the helmet in A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back is really different, and one of the main differences is the length of this lower part of the helmet. And I think I like the longer version as compared to the shorter one, and the angularity of the top shape here differs between the different versions. Here there's some that are very rounded off, so a bit like this, and some are a bit more not really edgy, but have a more squarish kind of shape. Okay, so the helmet, or I can, yeah, I will once again put him here, so you can see what is happening here. Now these pieces here can now be fully removed, for I want to have a smooth surface beneath them. And this was just like a placeholder geometry that was supposed to help me measure all the different proportions and help me see if I achieve symmetry. Okay, now here there's a very nasty gap in here. which I will fill with some cardboard. Now for this stream today, I picked out cardboard in different thicknesses. For the very thick cardboard, can really help me to fill in some gaps, like this hole in here. Okay, the camera on top is not really working today, so I will stay on this camera. Here to fill in this hole here, it's very beneficial to have some cardboard with a good thickness to it, or otherwise I would need to apply something like 3 layers. And if I use here this kind of thick cardboard, which is very flexible, will allow me to just use one piece here. Now here you can see this. Now with trying to fix all these little gaps in the mask, it sometimes helps just to put the cardboard or hold it on top of what you're trying to model. Just sketch the basic outline on top of it and just cut the whole piece to size. And as I've shown in the last stream, I'm heavily using this kind of technique where I here when I have my cardboard that I want to glue in here, if I would just use the cardboard as it is here, I would have a very noticeable ridge. And to really blend it into the surface, okay, this knife is dull. I will replace the blade here, but I really want to cut away on the edges and make the cardboard piece really fit in there naturally, and only then will I apply the glue to it, and this way I don't really have to use too much strength and oops, this won't open. Ismar Gamer, hello to Bosnia. This is a very international live stream. That is like perfect. I love it. What have I been talking about? Yeah, the more you can have the cardboard fit into the place you want to apply it to, the better it is for you. Now I will, here with a new blade, this should be really easy. It's still not as easy as I hoped. But herefore I angle this edge of the cardboard, and so it can here really be pushed into this hole that I want to fill. Why is this? This is really stubborn cardboard. This is very, very hard to cut with this knife, and it is very sharp. I should have tried it. There's some cardboard that is so soft, and here the paper it is made from is like really, it's more, I don't know, like a very strong toilet paper or stuff, and that's not as easy to cut as some cardboard that is a bit harder in structure. I don't know if I will use this for more than this one piece. I think I will search out a different type of cardboard that is easier to cut for me. Okay, now I give it the glue treatment, and as I'm doing like most and as always I really smear the glue in between all the layers and cracks of the cardboard. This way, once it dries, it will have a good structure, and once the glue is soaked into the cardboard, it is actually much easier to really sculpt it. Here. I just want to find out why the top camera decided not to work again. I will check the wiring. I'm back in a second here. This is okay. This is okay. Okay. Okay, deactivate, activate. Hopefully it will not lose its connection again. Okay, let me push this into here, and this here, as you might be able to see, really helps the whole surface, for it is a much smoother flow from the front to the back. And here, if you compare this line now with this, here, wait, with this curvature, this here is much too steep, and there's like a real like valley there, which needs to be taken care of. Now I try to get rid of this cardboard, and here I got another cardboard that's a bit thicker, which is actually very strong. Let me try to use this for the other side. Now, as I here, I follow the same steps that I used on the other side. Here I just sketch in the rough shape that I want the cardboard to have once it's done. Okay, and now I try to angle off the edges. Yeah. But first, let's cut this away. Okay, now I see that I need the cardboard to have an angle on the top here. Yeah, here, this is much better. Here you can see I can like cut it like some styrofoam. This is much better. So sometimes you have to just try different kinds of cardboard, and maybe it's good practice to store them according to their quality. Okay, now I will angle off the surfaces all around. And here, if you've seen how difficult it was to do this to the cardboard that I used on the other side, you should be able to really see a difference here. Yep, this looks much better. I'm pre-sculpting the cardboard again. And now I will use my wood glue on it. And then once again smear it in between the layers. And just this process of angling of the edges really exposes a lot of the inside of the cardboard, and this makes it really easy to push in the glue. And this helps you to achieve the softening of the whole piece of cardboard. Okay. Memsorio Games, hello to and welcome to the stream. Today will be hopefully more exciting than as compared to the last stream. For in the last stream I was just repairing errors, and there was not that much of a change to the whole mask, even though I think it was a very good change. For the symmetry is much better. So, and I think you saw it the last that you have tuned into the last live stream. Am I right? I hope I am. Here. Today I will finish with the rough surfacing of the face mask part of this whole Vader thing, and then I will, as you can see here along the black lines, separate it into its different pieces, and that is actually what I've been waiting for like nearly 2 weeks now, to test if I can still wear the mask, or if it warped so much that I will not be able to put it on my head. Okay. Here, before I apply this piece, I think, or now maybe I can just go ahead with it. Now I try to stay away from the line that I want to cut. So all the cardboard that I add now will be added above or below the line. This way it will be much easier for me to separate the pieces. You're just trying to measure and re-measure. Here, this should blend in here and blend in here. So I will prepare the edges for this. Okay, here I can even try to can you see that here? Okay, here it should be visible. Here, this cardboard is like really perfect to sculpt or cut away the edges. And here, look how nice the inside looks. This is a really nice cardboard. I think it was from some electronic device. Yeah, I have to search to all my cardboard if I got anything of this left, or if I got other pieces of this left. Okay. Here, this can move, or here this nicely flows into the surface of the back of the head, and I still need to cut this part so that this surface can connect to the cheekbone area. And maybe I will before I apply this to the top here, layer in a little bit of cardboard to the inside of this crack here, for I'm a bit worried that there's too little surface for the glue to really have something to grab onto or hold onto. So what do you think? Will the helmet still fit? I'm like 80% sure, but yeah, but I don't know. For there have been some really rough changes or some very big changes that I made to it. Okay, here on the front, here right now, there's a little bump there that I try to get rid of before I glue in the part that I prepared. And now I'm cutting into the into the starting layers of this build, and I can tell this by the fact. I cut myself. I can tell this by the fact that there's some hot glue hot spots in here, and the hot glue is very hard to cut with the knife. I will add additional glue to the now exposed cardboard here. For when it dries, it will strengthen everything. And when I add the glue now, I can have this glue soak in there for a while. And before I attach this piece of cardboard here, this inside structure will be soaked with glue. And this really helps me to push it down. For right now, there's just a whole lot of little pieces of cardboard standing up, and that is not really the best foundation to add another piece to it. Yeah, I think I need to take care of this little cut that I inflicted. Always be really careful when you're working with cardboard cutters and stuff like that, for they will always win against your skin. Here now, as I pointed out, I will push down the now softened cardboard here, and now I will add this this really helps the whole flow of the surface. Just here, can you see that? This is like a really nice curvature here, and if I'm able to hold this down long enough, it should be a really nice a really good step on my way to a nice surface for the Vader mask. Here. Now I used quite a lot of glue here, which means that everything below this piece of cardboard is really wet, and that means that I will have to push for a prolonged time until all the moisture from the glue soaked into the cardboard. Yeah. And this sometimes takes a couple of minutes, but the advantage from using so much glue is that you can really sculpt the surface, and here you can really see how it follows the curvatures, and there's quite a lot of here. There's curvature coming from the back, then there's here some curvature from the cheekbone, which is like this, and then here like this, and then it's coming up again to the front of the respirator. So there's quite a lot of different directions in which the cardboard has to be bent, and the more you bend or twist the cardboard, the more it wants to resist. But now it starts to stay in place. And I use my fingernails, or I can use my sculpting tools to really press down the edges. Nice, nice. Hey, here's a little gap that needs fixing. I can just do that while I'm swinging by here. And as I said, I will either add cardboard above my above the line where I want to separate the mask, or below the line. To make it easier when I want to separate the pieces. Okay, now the more time I take with preparing these little pieces that I glue into the mask now, the less time I will need to spend on perfecting the surface further down the road. So just take your time. Okay, now this is nearly perfect, and there shouldn't be too much pressing, pushing, pulling, sculpting to insert this piece into there. But I will still load up the inside of the cardboard with glue. For, as I stated many times, this will help the overall strength of the build. Okay, the cut stopped bleeding. I don't have to worry about it now. Here, I will. Here, for example, there's a little gap that I wasn't able to push down now, and in cases like this, I will just apply a little bit of glue to the top of it. Try to push it under the flap that I want to glue down, and then I will just work on the edge a bit and blend that edge into the surface. Okay, this eyebrow looks kind of good here. Here there's still an indentation that is a bit too extreme. So I will take another pass at this side of the the mask. Now, the base curvature that I need is an arc in this direction, like this. So I will pre-bend the cardboard that I'm using. Into this direction. This way it's easier for me to sketch onto it. For the closer it follows the surface, the better I can decide on what I want to keep and what I want to cut away. Here, as you might be able to tell, this process now is okay. It's a bit time consuming, but overall it's kind of fast. For the ground structure that was built in the last couple of live streams is like really strong enough to support me, or to support a very fluent working process now. No, it helps me to work kind of fast, because I really don't have to worry about the structure here. I can just cut all the pieces, and there's no structural worries I have. So I'm really I just have to watch out for the sculpt and not for the underlying structure, and that like really frees up your head. For there's no compromises that have to be made. This is a very can I say it, a relaxing part. Even though it might not be the most visually stunning thing that I can perform on the Vader helmet, but I think the before and after pictures will be really really showing a lot of progress once today's stream is done. Here, as you can see, these surfaces start to really come together. Most of the gaps, like this here, you can see the back of the head was or the back of the head now has the structure that the front of the head had too. But now, if you compare front to back, there's a big difference. Are there any questions from from the live chat? It is very quiet today. Maybe but I'm just repeating myself all the time. So what should there be? Or this is just very repetitive stuff which I have to go to today. But this is so important to really take your time and work on the surface. For in the end, the surface is everything that will present the model to the viewer. And you can get the best surface results with a good understructure, for then you can really pay attention to it, and you don't have to like compromise on surface quality. For if there's no good understructure, then some stuff is just impossible to pull off. Or if there's nothing you can glue stuff onto, then you have a problem. So now I added really quite a huge amount of glue here, and if I would try to push it in right now, it would take something like, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes of constant pushing and constant readjusting. So I will just give it some time so it can soak in, get more sticky, and then it should be much easier for me to glue it in one go. Then it should just take something like 30 seconds for it to stick, as opposed to a couple of minutes. And while I'm waiting for this part to get sticky, I will prepare this piece of cardboard for the opposing side, or here for the right side. This should roughly be the length that I need. Here it's got quite a nice curvature to here, and this should give me a big enough piece of cardboard. The part for the left eyebrow here is still like pre-drying. Okay, I want this to be here. I just I want this to end like here on this level of the cheekbone, for I want to have the curvature to smoothly run down from there to there. I don't really need the whole top here. No, I can cut this away. Yep. Like this, like this. Okay, and now I just need a straight edge on the bottom part of this piece. Okay, and now I will angle the edges. Here to build this monstrosity on a live stream was somewhat of a questionable, or is somewhat questionable. For here, there's so much work to be done on this model that it does not really lend itself for live streaming. And I think for future live projects that I will choose shorter projects. Maybe some stuff that I would be able to finish in like 2 or 3 hours, and this way viewers can like do a build along with me or stuff like that. This Vader mask will be the most complex thing that I've done once it's finished. It will even eclipse the Terminator arm, which held the place of most complex and most time-consuming model before. So, yeah, tell me what you think. Should I do like smaller builds, or should I live stream some technique kind of videos where you can ask about techniques and then I show you how you can do it? Or do you want to see this kind of really long builds, or is this really complex builds? Okay. Here, now I give this some time to pre-dry, and the eyebrow thing for the other side should be, should be in a good state to be applied. Okay, and as you can see right away, that here, without much holding it down or pressing or pushing and stuff like that, it stays in place pretty much instantly. And yeah, this is due to the fact that I gave it some time to like settle a bit, or to really soak in and get more sticky. This way it's easier to apply it, and this is especially true for more complex shapes. And here, there once again, here there's a lot of curvature going on. So now I will sculpt it. So it can reflect the curvature that I want it to have. Okay, can you like see that? Here now, this side and this side. Yeah, they look much better. And the whole surface of the helmet starts to come together now. Here, when I look at the helmet really straight on, I think there's some mass missing here. Maybe I need to apply a bit more height here, or a bit more thickness. But I will just make that call once I glued in this part here, which is still in its, like, how I call it, pre-drying stage. Okay, so while I'm waiting for this part to be ready, just some minor adjustments. I can take a look what I will do after that. I think, okay, here is something that is very quick and does not require too much attention. It's just I will add in some cardboard to the back of the neck. So I think it needs some more structural strength. Okay, this is roughly the height that I wanted to have. And I really want to make sure that I don't run the risk of any of the parts of the mask that they like collapse once I separate all pieces. So I try to be, what is it, like, better safe than sorry. And yeah, I rather apply one layer too much as opposed to one layer too little. Nah. I think you get what I mean. Pigu! Hey! Very nice to see you. Welcome to the live stream. How have you done? Are you excited for the weekend? I am. I should be able to put in quite a lot of time into this build. And I really want to move it forward. Okay. So can you hear me actually, or do you just see me? I think if you will reply, you can. Yeah, if you would, if I will read anything in the chat, then you should have been able to hear me. Okay, here once again I'm preparing the edges of the cardboard for insertion. Okay, this is quite a big piece here. But for this piece I don't want to use as much glue as I did for the eyebrow pieces and for the cheek pieces. Whereas this here is just for some like structural stability for the back of the neck. This is not a beauty piece. This is oh, Denmark, Poland. Is it just a friendly, or is it a qualification for something? 0-4. That sucks. Is it for qualification, or are there still chances? My son is really into soccer, but I'm not really an expert on it. And yeah, thanks for the feedback on the audio. Okay, here, this, yeah, does not really want to stay in place here. That's a bit unfortunate. What I'm thinking with this Vader build here is that I will work on some stuff, or on some parts of the helmet without being online. For there will be stuff which is even more repetitive than the stuff that I'm doing now. And unless, okay, qualification match, but still, there's a chance. Yeah, best of luck. Or here, I think I will do some of the more repetitive stuff offline and prepare pieces, and then I will like assemble them on stream. This way there should be more visual diversity, if that is a thing. Okay, this cheek part should have had enough time now, and I think it will be really sticky now, which is actually what I want. And yeah, here it really helps to give it some time. Hi, CrashBand289. There's a live chat question about can you make me a mask? But what would it cost? And then I'm sorry. I just built this stuff for myself, and I'm just building stuff that I really want to have. And this is mostly stuff from my childhood, and stuff that I grew up with and that I always wanted to have, but never had the money or opportunity to get. And I'm talking about all the techniques that I'm using to actually enable people to, or to enable everyone that's watching to just try and build stuff for themselves. I think the added bonus of having done it for yourself is that you will like it way more as compared to if you would just buy it. Yeah. And I must say, this thing here would be like very, very expensive, for it takes an extreme amount of time to finish it. And yeah, if you're just if you watch my channel page or look up my channel page, and there's a playlist with all the Vader videos that I've done till now. Here, everything, every single step up to this point has been streamed live and can be watched on the channel. And then there you will see that right now I'm like, how much will it be? Like 40 hours in, 45 hours. I was just watching your Friday the 13th cardboard mask, and it came out good. Thank you very much. Yeah, I like the Jason mask, and actually the Jason mask and the Hannibal Lecter one, this here face mask thing, were made in preparation to try to tackle something as complex as Vader. For here, just for comparison, I mean, the Jason mask would just be something like this top part of the helmet. That's actually everything the Jason mask somehow would be from in terms of complexity. And now just thanks for the thub. It's very nice of you to subscribe. Thanks for the support on my little channel here. And yeah, and the complexity of this mask was one continuous surface for everything. And then there's the mask, there's the helmet, there's multiple pieces, and then there's technology that will go on top of the helmet. Here it's just ridiculous how much work it is. And for me to sell this and to get something, nah, this is this is for me. But I try to show all the techniques that I use, and I'm while doing this, I'm learning new techniques, and I try to like share them with everyone. And I think you should try just to build stuff for yourself. And maybe, as you pointed out, the Jason mask, that's actually a better starting point as compared to this Vader mask. Yeah, if you have time, check out Friday the 13th songs by Rocket Gaming. I will take a screenshot of it so that I can remember it. What kind of music is it? Or why should I watch? Or why should I check the song? Okay, now here there's one thing when I watch the helmet, or here I imagine there's an imaginary line here in the middle, and I'm checking for symmetry. And actually here there's a bulge which is needed, but this bulge is missing on this side, so I will have to add some mass to this side of the helmet. What looks much better if the symmetry is somewhat correct. There is no need for it to be 100%, but it. Yeah, once you catch some stuff where it's off, and you still have the time or the chance to correct it, I think you should always go for it. Okay, that's unfortunate that the surface is damaged here. And this is like the good cardboard, which is like really nice. For to fill the gaps and stuff. I will still take this or use it. Here, this is a very complex shape that I have to fix now. And our complex is just there's curvature in all directions here. And then I have to watch out, or I have to pay attention to the fact that I want this part to blend in everywhere. All edges needs to blend into the surface that I apply this piece to. That's quite challenging, actually. So I try to do my best with just to pre-shape it. And as you can see, it starts to follow the surface. Yeah. And just so that I'm aware of where I want to put it, I just sketch some lines on there, and now I will cut the edges so it's easier to for me to blend it in there. They have 3 songs for the game called Killing Jason, 1 and 2000 piece number. Okay, I will check it out. Can I find the songs on YouTube? I hope so. Yeah, so I will prepare the edges. For it is much easier to really to glue this or here to add pieces of cardboard to your whole sculpt once you pre-angle the sides of the cardboard, so you avoid this big ugly edges in your surface here. And if you cut cardboard this way, really please watch out here. I cut myself like 1 hour ago for I was not really focused on what I was doing, and yeah, that's just a very minor cut, but these cardboard knives can be really really nasty, especially if you have the blade out this far. Whoa. Yeah, I don't want to visualize it. Please be safe. And don't try to get distracted while you're working with this kind of deadly tools, or possibly deadly tools. Okay, and here when I'm here, I'm just rechecking if it is the right thing to do. And now, once I apply this piece of cardboard, here, these two sides have better symmetry. I was just rechecking that I apply it to the right side and that it is in line with my plan. Yeah, in line with my objective that I want to achieve with this here. And for this large piece here, I will once again apply plenty of glue, and I will give it a couple of minutes to pre-dry. And just, or sometimes I forget in which orientation I want to apply the cardboard, and then sometimes I mark, or I just draw some reminders to the whole thing, or I lay some reminders down so that I'm less likely to apply it in the wrong direction. Especially when you let it sit for a while, this piece of cardboard there, and your mind starts to focus on different parts of the model, then it's very likely to just forget what you were doing. And it happened quite frequently to me that I just applied stuff in the wrong direction. While waiting for this piece to dry, I can take care of smaller things. And all I want to do, or all that I'm focusing on right now, is to have a good surface flow around the whole model. For once the surface is kind of right, or kind of like almost there, then I can really look for symmetry and check for errors. And if I think it's good enough, then I will cut the whole thing apart and start to cut it apart, and then start to work on each piece individually. And that is the time when I will start to really start doing detailed stuff with the model. You might be able to see that there's still here it's easier if I hold it like this. Here that there's still a whole lot of edges visible here. This is what I want to address now. I will start on one side of the mask. I will apply glue to these edges, and then I will smear it into the cardboard. And then I will try to sculpt, use a sculpting tool or my fingernails, and try to push down the edges to have them to get them to a level where they're not that prominent anymore. Here. And the top of the helmet will not remain as it is now. It will receive some curvature, but for the time being, it is it helps a lot that I'm able to put down the helmet in this way. Hey, Joshua. So, ich rede nur jetzt ganz kurz mit dir Deutsch. Hey, danke fürs Zugucken. Hier, Vader. So, musst uns mal besuchen kommen. Kannst du dir so angucken. Okay, I've just been talking to the brother of my son. And he's watching right now. And that makes me very happy. Broken mind card. Yeah, here, and I want this edges to be as invisible as possible, for I still have to work on the surface flow. No. I will have to connect this part to this part here, and right now this is like a foreign object on the top of the mask, and it should look as if it would be one continuous surface. That's what I'm trying to achieve now. And yeah, here the cardboard is maybe like 1 millimeter thick, and after I worked on it like this, it gets reduced to maybe 1/3 of a millimeter, which means this is helping me to achieve my goal of unifying the surface here. Yeah, here in the stream, family stream. Yeah, my son is in the room next to me. Maybe I should call him so he can say hi to his brother. Maybe that's a good idea. Joshua, guckst du noch im Moment? Wenn ja, schreib mal bitte kurz, weil dann würde ich kurz mal Jeremy holen, falls er Lust hat. Oder kannst du mich überhaupt hören?
Okay,
here this piece. Oh, well, I have to watch out. It nearly over-dried. So I will here reactivate the glue here, and okay, now it's a good thing that I marked the direction. I think I would have forgotten it by now. Hello, cookie communist. I have to drink something. Hello, cookie communist. What do you mean by privilege? Privilege? I don't get it. Please enlighten me. But welcome to the stream. Very nice to have you back. Okay, maybe this blended in nicely. Here there's some of the edges don't really want to stay down. So as I said, I like over dried it a bit. So I will give it some more glue, which I will push in there. And that should help me receive a good result on these edges. Okay. And now I can Hi, Blue Reason. What are you asking if I'm Russian? Nah, my my accent is like German. I'm from Berlin in Germany. Privyet. Okay. We are Russian tonight. Дружба. My Russian is like, I'm not very skilled in Russian. Privyet, hi. Okay, that now I was like very brain rock. So Privyet is hi in Russian, and here Blue Reason pointed that out on the stream, on the live chat. So he was way more knowledgeable than me. That surface, from the live chat, that surface starts to look like a surface. And that's a very, very accurate, first, very accurate observation. And secondly, a very nice thing to say. Yeah, it starts to happen. So, and as I pointed out before, today I want to get to a point that allows me to separate the mask for the first time after all these days, and and to give me the chance to check if it's still fitting on my head. But I'm confident that it will work. Your organic shapes are amazing. Keep up the great work. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. This is like by far the most demanding and most complex shape I've built up to this point. And as I pointed out before, it really helped that I first did the Jason mask. Or maybe the God of War X was actually the first time that I used the technique of covering the surface with wrapping paper afterwards. Or with this brown paper. And then I was good enough for or I thought that I had enough knowledge to attempt the Jason mask. After that worked out well, I built the Hannibal Lecter mask, which was actually like very thin, but still had all these curvatures. And only that gave me like the confidence to try and start this thing here. Yeah, it is not not the easiest thing to do. And I think 1 year ago, yeah, it would have been very different. Let's put it like that. It's coming out really well. Thanks a lot. I have high hopes for this mask, and that's why I'm like very anal about it. Like, okay, trying to correct symmetry errors and stuff like that. For I want this to be as good as it can be with the knowledge that I have right now. It's, yeah, I like it, but this being anal about it is just very this being very picky. Let's use that term. Is actually quite problematic for me. For I have to rebuild some stuff. For it's not good enough. Here, and what I'm just okay. I'm trying to answer the chat now. Wait, I will first read it and then answer it. Question: once the glue hardens over your organic shaped curved surfaces, are you able to reshape it some more? Yes and no. The first thing there is it depends on how much glue you use and how to which level the cardboard is penetrated by the glue. If I, for example, take a little piece of cardboard like this, wait, I will just here. If I take this cardboard and fill it up with glue, here I really push the glue in there, and I do the same thing from the other side. Here, and once this dries, here, this very here, this little piece there, it will become like a piece of plastic. So it's yeah, the only way to shape this once it dries, it is the only way to shape this would be to file it off. If I'm just using a little bit of glue just to stick the cardboard to the surface, then all layers above the glued surface can still be adjusted. Let's have it, or let's put it this way. And this is, for example, what I'm doing right now. For here, I glued down, or here I built this shape on top here, but I always made sure that there's no that once I did that, that I don't have any kind of glue entering into the cardboard, and this way I'm able to fill up the cardboard now with some glue, and I can still work on it. Do you know what I mean? I hope somehow. So, and this curved surfaces here are here the time that I will be able to somehow change what I've done there depends on the amount of glue that I used to put it there. The more glue I smeared into the cardboard, the longer I'm able to still affect the surface. Yeah? That was like a very good example of very poor English. I somehow have to I have to learn some vocabulary to give me a better chance to explain technical stuff. My English, under normal circumstance, my English is like good enough for conversations, for talking about everyday stuff. But some of the technical terms really escape me. I'm like really lost sometimes, as you can witness. I should maybe look for some kind of I don't know, engineering English course, something like that. Maybe that will make me a bit more fluent in that. Okay, here I was in the process, of eliminating the edges on the top part here. So once I completed the circle, I will eliminate the lower edge to have this flow into here. Then I will address this little gap here and cut this to size. And yeah, then I will start working on this, and then I should be able to cut the whole thing into pieces. What I was starting to explain is I want the mask to be like as good as it can be right now. And here I finished this, or I built this on day 8 of the stream. But yeah, it's somehow okay. The surface is nice. Yeah, I like it. Technically, it's good, but the walls on the side here, they're just way too thick. They're way too thick, and it I don't really like it. So I think they should have half the width they have right now. And this bars in here, they're too thick too. And I think I will rebuild this part, but not on a live stream, but off camera, and then just show the difference. And yeah, I think here, this is, I don't really like it. And I want the whole helmet to be something that I can really, really like. Hey, here, continuing the process of getting rid of the overlaps here. So here I can prepare all the rest of the edges. And I think it's best to push it in with this tool, so I can be more precise with this, as compared to my fingers that are way too inaccurate for it. So, and if you want to get rid of this kind of overlap edges, just fill up the side of the cardboard, or the height of the cardboard, or the exposed side of the cardboard, with some glue. The more you push it in, or the deeper you're able to push it in, the deeper the glue can move on the inside of the cardboard, and it can soften a bigger area of the cardboard, and this way you can easier sculpt this edge that you're trying to get rid of. What I try to say by this is, here, if the glue is just in like 2 millimeters here on this, let me change this to this camera. Here, if the penetration of the glue into the cardboard is just like here, just like 1 time the thickness to the inside, then everything that is softened will just be up to this depth. The more you're able to push in the glue, or the deeper you're able to push in the glue, the easier it is to sculpt the whole easier it is to round off the whole edge. So, and the deeper you're able to push in the glue, stronger the resulting cardboard will be. Once the glue dried, for this is like some kind of plastic in there once it dried. Okay. Here. And one other thing, for this surface here, I will never be able to get rid of all the little overlaps. But for there's this much glue now on the inside of this cardboard that it is that there's a other way you can get rid of it, and that's just to use some sanding paper. And once the glue really dried, it's not rock solid, but it's very strong, and it reacts quite nice to being worked on with sanding paper. For you have to remember that this is wood glue, and it's like a necessity that this glue can be sanded after it dried. For this is like the normal workflow once you work with wood. No, but I think you will see me do this in later episodes. Or to really get not perfect, but a very smooth surface, I will cover parts of the model with this brown paperback paper. And here, as you can see, this is a very this is a very smooth surface here. And to have an understructure that is this smooth, it really helps to sand off some edges. Okay, I finished one whole pass around the top there. Now I will insert glue into the edge here, all around the model, and then I will push it in, and I hope that I can get rid of like at least half the height of this edge. So. Yeah, I'm doing the first pass at it with my finger, and then I will use the tool for it, or the sculpting tool. And once again, I try to make sure not to smear the glue around too much on the surface, for once the glue dries on top of the cardboard, it is very hard to have it's hard for yeah, once glue dries here, it's hard to put another piece of cardboard on top of the dried glue. Yeah, so first I pushed it in with my finger. Now I'm trying to get a bit deeper with the tool to have some more to increase the area inside the cardboard that is affected by the glue. And as I've shown before, this will like increase my chance to sculpt this edge, and in sculpting it to try to hide it. What is hard? English? Yeah, English is hard for me, especially for I don't really use English too much in my day-to-day life. Or I'm just using it passively. I'm listening to podcasts and everything. So my understanding is like, I don't know, not really 100%, but a good 99%. But I'm talking way too infrequently. And the problem with just talking on stream here is that there is no one that stops me from repeating the same mistakes over and over and over. So, yeah, I have to come up with some kind of way to get a bit better. Or to get more fluent again. Or to activate my passive vocabulary again and stuff like that. Okay, this lower edge is really a bit stubborn, so it's hard to get rid of it. But I just try to reduce it as good as I can right now, and then to really blend it into the surface, I will either need another piece of cardboard on top of it, or I will need to sand it down. But right now it's just about trying to minimize it I mean, the whole top here should have enough strength to withstand the cutting procedure or the separation procedure. Here, there's one thing where I can show in which way the glue dries. Here, these layers of cardboard here were glued on with quite a lot of glue. So there was a whole lot of curvature, and I wanted I had to pre-soften it to move it around the surface, around this corner and this corner, and then I had some big edges there. I filled the edges and pressed down everything here. And now, as you can hear, here, this is how this sounds, and this is how normal cardboard sounds. And here you can really hear that this is like a piece of plastic now, and it is very strong. And I won't be able to change this curvature with glue anymore. For this is like really hard. I can just add glue to it and in this way sculpt the surface. But this surface is like done. Okay, now I try to get rid of this incision thing here. Maybe I just glue a little piece of cardboard in there and smooth it around the outside. Cheers. Damn, it's really warm in here. Okay. Yeah, I will just use this piece of cardboard here, but I will peel away the lower layer and give my and try to remove the wavy layer too. This way I should be able to really blend it in there without too much of an edge appearing. Okay. Yeah, actually I used the wrong side of the cardboard right now, for I wanted the print to be on the inside, but yeah, I messed that up. At this stage of the build, I try to get rid of most of the markings on the outside of the sculpt, where it is much easier, or way easier, to determine if the surface is approaching the level that you want it to be, that I want it to be. Yeah, it's much easier to read the surface if it has kind of a uniformous color or a uniform color, and all this markings just distract your eye, and it's harder to see or to judge what you're seeing. Okay. I think I try to get rid of these parts now. Therefore, here I used a lot of glue on these parts, which means they would be like nearly impossible to cut with a knife, for they're still very very soft. Here you can see that, and in times like this, or if the cardboard has a state like this, it really helps to have a good pair of scissors to get rid of, or to have a way to cut this very moist cardboard. Oops. Okay, I'm trying to look for symmetry, or for the lack of symmetry. This side sticks out a bit, and this side here of the helmet of the mouse is a bit recessed, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Here, basically the top is done, or here this front part. I will not change anything on this top respirator thing, for it will be much easier to replace this part of the model with the then updated grill piece here. It will be much easier to replace that once I separated the pieces. So now I will address the edges and overlaps that are present in the lower face of the face mask, in the lower part of the face mask. And I will start with here the very obvious ones. Or here I will first try to get rid of this top one here, and maybe it will be good just to fill up this this canyon here. Can you see that? Here, this canyon with some cardboard. I think it will help the whole surface. I think, yeah. So if I would just blend this edge and this edge, then I would have a bumpy surface. Here, I think it's okay to blend this edge into the top part here. And remember, here, this is the separation line between neck and face part of the mask. Okay. Here I will use the tool here, and I try to push in as much glue as I can. And then I try to remove as much glue from the surface as possible. Or I don't want to really close the surface with the glue. Here, it will be beneficial if it can still take on glue, or it will be beneficial if I try to make sure that this layer of cardboard can still receive other layers of cardboard. Okay, this will soak in for a little while. I'll definitely add cardboard down here. For this I will here once again use these boxes. For this is the same cardboard I used on this lower part, and it helps to use something that got the same thickness. Okay. I will use a ruler for this. And as some of you might have noticed, I haven't used rulers a whole lot. For this is an organic surface, and I try to work as freehand as I can. For I think it benefits the process. For it's more about like looking at what I have to do, and then trying to really sculpt it, as opposed to just measuring, and then trying to approach the model that way. Here, this is more of a like free-form modeling approach. Okay, this is from here to here. That's actually one part of this model that I really like. That I can, like really sculpt. And this is the first time that I use cardboard in this way. Oh, not the first time, but that I that I'm like freely sculpting most of the model without any kind of measuring. And this is quite nice. Yep. Here, this should have soaked in enough. I started to forget it, and I hope let me look, that I can reduce this edge significantly. Yeah, I think it works. It's hard to judge right now, for there's this white seam. This feels really good. This feels really good. And this is like for the question was, once the glue hardens over your organic shapes, are you able to reshape it some more? And here right now it's not just blending the edge. I'm actually reshaping the whole cardboard. For what I'm doing right now is I'm breaking the inside structure of this stripe of cardboard on one half, but not on the other half. And in this way, if the cardboard would be like this thick, and this would be the stripe that I'm working on right now, I try to sculpt it into a wedge shape like this. And this actually works quite well if you take care that there's no glue on the inside of the cardboard when you first lay it down. Okay. Here, this will have to dry a bit. Where is the piece that I... Was it this? Okay, I'm just getting rid of the front here. Yeah, and the same way that I did it on the top of the mask, or on the face part of this mask, when I want to here, for the times that I want to add cardboard, I just try to really push it or have it as close to the surface as possible. And here, so all the curvature is already kind of in the cardboard, and this way I can really see if I need it to be longer or wider or whatever. And here the inside will be pushed out, and that is why I'm actually trying not to have cardboard all the way down here. Okay, here this time, or on this side, I want the edges of the cardboard to be glued together. That's why I'm preloading one side with glue. Here, and I will use a tool to press it in a bit further. And this way I will have some moisture on the inside there, which means I can sculpt it a bit afterwards. Yeah. Okay. Let me. Yeah. Here, there's me trying to get the best surface possible for this state or for this stage of the build. And it works out quite well. Here, if I compare this, just in my head, I don't have a picture right now, but to the starting point today, there's not really dramatic changes, but the increase in quality or in the increase in surface quality is quite visible or quite obvious. Nice, 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 nice. Now I want to fill this gap here. And yeah, I think it's best if I just here I will mark this side. Okay, here it has to be, whoa, quite thick. And then I will just cut it, and I'm cutting conservatively here. In this way I can start to approach the shape that I want. Meaning here this is way too wide now. But in doing it in this way I can like check and check, and this way I should end up with a pretty accurate stripe. Here, this should be near perfect. So, and yeah, I'm just working my way forward here. And this is this, and I connect the two. Now it should be, yeah, it's fitting here. There's still a bit too much, but here. This is a bit time consuming now. I could have paid more attention when I first I could have paid more attention when I started to refine the surface on this lower part of the mask, but I think there was a problem with the curvature, and that's why I separated the two stripes there. And yeah, I mean, it's not a problem to fix this. It's just a bit time consuming if you want to get it right. Okay, and I didn't really get get it right, but I think it's close enough. Yeah, here there's still a little gap there, but I will fill that in with an additional piece of cardboard. Yeah. I will fill up the canyon with some glue, and then I will just push the freshly cut stripe in there, and it should result in a good surface. Okay. Here now, using my trusted sculpting tool. It is not perfectly seamless, but this is so much better than before, and I think my decision to actually fill this canyon with cardboard was definitely the right one, as compared to trying to smooth off both sides of this elongated crater, aka canyon. Okay, here's just this little thing that looks like a knife cut when the skin is opening up a bit. This should easily be cut from a piece of cardboard here. There. Okay, I will stand up for this. Okay, this is the whole length. Yeah, it's just yeah, going back and forth and trying and measuring it, or just testing it against the surface. But here, all the time that I'm spending on this is really time well spent, for it will improve the overall quality of the sculpt. Okay, here I fill this up. I will use this, push it in. Are there any kinds of questions that I can address? You guys would really help me out with something to talk about. Or with some questions for here. It's just very, very much of the same regarding the technique the techniques that I use here. Here, this starts to look really good. Can you? And here, if I compare this to the rough states from earlier episodes, this is a huge improvement. Okay, now there I will address this side here, and I think I will use the one edge on the front of this neck piece to Hi, when you gonna cut it open? Okay, I want to stream for 3 hours, which means now it's 2:27, which I would say I will start in 18 minutes. For I want it to be opened at the end of those 3 hours, and yeah, 18 minutes. So I don't know if you can see the time for as long or for how long this stream lasted till now, but here yeah, I gotta watch on the top of my screen there, and yeah, at the 2 hours and 45-minute mark, I have to start separating it. Okay. But I wanted to start earlier, but I'm a bit nervous here. For I don't want to fuck it up, or I don't want to run into some kind of preventable situation, if you know what I mean. But it should be right around the corner. The interesting thing will be what kind of like not mechanism, but what kind of clamping I can build so that I can rejoin the pieces. So I will have to come up with something there. And I'm not really sure how I will approach this yet. For to have this surface be like kind of seamless, I need a way to attach top to bottom, so I can work on both sides of the helmet at once. Okay. Okay, I start to be a bit nervous. Let's go to this one. Hey, this will be the last thing I add to the lower side of the collar here. Okay. Now, I will try to refine my cutting line. Yeah, but it's very hard to judge this from this perspective. Okay, just is there anything that I forgot to do or to take care of before I separate the pieces? For now is like the last chance. Here, this edge is still a bit wet from when I filled it up before. I really used quite a lot of glue. Okay, here yeah, that's I'm just trying to get a better view. But this looks okay. Here, I mean, there's a big irregularity or a big difference between the left and the right side here. I think it's even visible from here. That here, this is way too thick. But I'm not really concerned with the back of the neck here, for I can easily rebuild that. Okay. I will what I try to avoid most of the time on this nice little presentation. Try to actually smoke a cigarette now. I hope that this will not result in a I don't know, monetization strike or stuff from YouTube. Oh. But okay, I have another like 10 minutes and I just try to make sure that everything is taken care of. I am a bit nervous, but actually, I mean, here, nothing can really go wrong. The main hurdle that I will have to face is I have to come up with a way to join both pieces, or all three pieces, so I can continue to sculpt in kind of an efficient way. But that shouldn't be too hard. Okay. Most parts of the helmet are dry enough. Yeah, I'm just trying to check my cutting path. Okay, here I can just follow the line between the cardboard. Yeah, here on the back of the head. All right, but I think that there will be quite a lot of cleanup, or that a lot of cleanup will be needed along the edge where I cut the model. For I doubt that the cut will be very clean, because in the structures, or the starting structures of the helmet, I used, for the starting structure, I used hot glue, and hot glue is like very hard to cut, and it tries to resist cutting. Okay, I think I will just start to cut it. The most important cut is definitely to separate this part from this part, and I think if I try to cut out the face mask out of the rest of the sculpt, this should be the best thing to do. I will try to can I see it like this? Maybe, I don't know which camera view is the best for this. I will try to cut in between of these layers here. Okay, this is a very easy cut, and once I'm really, when the knife is on the inside here, then I can just wiggle my way along. Okay, this is completely separated. That went quite well. Now okay, on this side I try to find the blade on the inside. Okay, here. Can you see it? And I will just in small sawing motions. Okay. Nice, 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 nice. Here, the strongest part right now is this cranium here, or the top of the head, and here I try to get into here. Okay, now it shouldn't be that hard. I just try not to squash the whole mask here. Okay, full separation here. Okay. Okay, now the whole thing gets like really a bit squishy for the structure is no longer there, or the okay, here is a big lump of hot glue that I have to get through. Drums playing, yeah. Okay. Nice. Very, very nice. Hey, here I just do some instant cleanup here. Okay, okay, it still fits. It's not perfect, so I still have to match the both sides here lengthwise. But here, and I will just to show you get the book. I've shown it before, but the here, like maybe if I I will put this in between here, and I think here this will here I will still work on this where it needs to be elongated, or here rounded off, and all the detail stuff on there. And here, this lower part, it looks quite nice. I think it's a really good starting point. I'm happy. I am happy. Now I will cut away this trash piece, which will not be needed for anything. Okay, there's a lot of hot glue in there. Okay. And I think I will I will not separate this part just yet. For there's more stability if I have it connected. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to build the crown thing. Have you heard what I want to do with the whole thing? Was this like coming apart? Here, just to recap what I want to do with it. Here, I will put it to this. Here, I mean, what level of detail are you gonna go with? Like 90%. So I will stop. I will not like follow the layout 100%. So I don't want to really provide a carbon copy, but yeah, I want to have everything on there. I want to have like a really high level Vader helmet. And I mean, if you've looked at the channel, it is possible to do a really high level of detail with cardboard. And yeah, why shouldn't I try? Or so I want to go for here, all here with wires in there, with some kind of needless tech in here, and definitely needless tech up there. And somehow I have to incorporate some kind of system that the helmet will kind of auto center to the to the face mask part. But yeah, I want this to be really cool. And here, if I just imagine, here when I'm thinking about how cool it will look when I have like this 3 parts here, like this, and then when I pull the lever, it will move apart like this, and then reveal all the detail in there. I think it's going to be great. Yeah, this is going to be a really great showpiece for cardboard modeling and for my channel. And I hope to finish it within the next month. So I hope that's somehow possible, and then I'm able, hopefully, to get some views for the hype for Last Jedi. Will start to build up in the end of the year, maybe November. And yeah, I hope some people will discover the channel and discover the possibilities of cardboard sculpting. Here, just for those curious, the eyes will be cut out at a later point, and then they will be built as a separate thing. And then I will drill thousands of little holes into the eyes. You're gonna install some pneumatic there too. No, I don't want to use air or stuff. I want to build everything from cardboard. And I think I will do some kind of wait. Here, lever system where just wait a second. Here, this was my original sketch for it. I try to put it on the camera. Here, so this is the board I want to have it on. Then the center part of the mask will stay in one place, and once I like push or pull the lever, the helmet should be raised up, and the neck piece should be moved down. And I think I'm going to use here a mechanism like this, where the helmet is attached and this is attached to the mechanism. Here there's like one thing is here, one thing is here. Helmet attached to the top part, the collar piece to the bottom part, and there will be one continuous tooth thing there, and this way I should be able to do it all mechanically with just cardboard. Here, I'm gonna put a word of you around. Hey, any help is welcome. If you can spread the word about this channel, I would be like very, very, very grateful, for I really suck at social media stuff. So I've only crafted a padlock and some things out of cardboard, and this is some next level shit. Thanks a lot, and I hope to inspire people to do even more, to just like blow my mind, like whoa. Here, it is really fun building stuff with cardboard, and yeah, I love it. And I want this to be like the showpiece of what I learned in the last 1.5 years. Thanks to everybody that was watching. I will return tomorrow at roughly the same time, so maybe some of you can join in then. That would be great. Tomorrow I will start to just continue work on this. I will look into this crown thing. I will finish up the surfacing of the top part of the mask, and hopefully I can like start to install this in here, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this or not. Yeah. What I will definitely start to build tomorrow is these like yeah, what would you call this? Wait. Here, I will definitely start to build these things on the side here, and the screws on top. For the original helmet uses these things to hide the connection line between the top and the low part, and the screws, which I will build a bit bigger than in the original helmet, really help to sell this Vader image here. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. It was great. Thanks for everybody that swung by, that has been there before, or for all the returning people. I'm really like glad if there are some people that I already know, that makes it be less awkward for me to just talk with myself. It feels like I'm talking with people that I know. That's really helpful. Thanks for that. Here, a big step today. A big milestone. Now there's all the pieces that will be, nearly all the pieces will be split in two, but yeah, this is the 3 pieces that will show up on the final cardboard thing. Thanks for watching. I will start to put stuff together, and then I will end the live cast, the live stream, in 30 seconds from now. Thanks a lot. I will address the chat if I can reach my mouse. Ja, gute Nacht an die Deutschsprechenden. And good night to everyone else, or good morning, or to whatever whatever is the right expression for your part of the world right now. Hope to see you people again. Here, if you subscribe and click at the bell icon, you will receive notifications when I start a live stream. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye. It was really nice. Have a nice night, evening, day, weekend, everything. Bye bye.